happening, y'all, and welcome. This is episode 184 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. I am your host, Lord Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined as always by my co-host, Mara the Shark Watkins, who's looking very confused right now. You all right?
I feel lost. I lost my bubble tea.
I don't have it.
I don't believe you.
You shouldn't, but I'm just going to say I don't have
it. Thanks for the honesty.
Because the chances of me having your bubble tea right now are very low, but never zero.
I love how many people now send me things of those. Like the TikToks and the Vine. No, see, that's the second time today.
Vines? You bringing back Vines? Is that a thing? Are Vines back?
You know, it's funny because I said that to Logan earlier, and I was like, "Look at me showing my age."
Next thing you know, you'll be me talking about touts. Remember touts? Did you ever get into touts?
I remember E-Bombs World, though.
Yeah, touts was a thing for a very short period of time, but it never really took off. It was trying to like take over where Vine was, but it didn't really do it. And like WWE tried to lean heavy into it, but didn't really. Like they kind of did, but didn't, and it just never really took off.
Gotcha. But yeah, the reels and the TikToks of like animals and stuff, and it was like chances of this killing you are
low,
but never zero. And I love all of them. So I think I saw one that was like a goat or a cow that was like, it looked so cute, and then it turned very sinister looking.
Yeah. Yo, but guess what? Guess what we just found out today?
What did we find out?
Because before today, we were like, the chances of Naomi getting renewed are low. But then we found out today, it is zero. Naomi season 2 has officially not been picked up by the CW. So there will be no season 2 of Naomi on the CW. Now, will it happen on other streaming platforms, maybe HBO Max and some other shit they might do later on after CW gets sold? Who knows? But for right now, there is no season 2 of Naomi.
Which means this week was, as I assumed, the series finale. So
yeah, did a whole cliffhanger thing and all that for no reason. But it's what we're here to talk about. You know, we're here to talk about the, Arrowverse on the CW, Supergirl, Flash, Legend of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman, Lois, Naomi, all of them. What were you about to say? I feel like I cut you off.
No, I was having a thought, and I was like, but I can hold it for when we actually start talking about it.
It's good to be able to hold it. Sometimes I gotta hold it, when I'm working and all that.
I'm a pro at holding it in.
Good. Where do you want to start?
Feelings. Food. Stop. Let's just start with Naomi since it was the series finale.
You want to start with it because it's the series finale. Okay.
Like, I say that only because you weren't here this morning as I had a whole outer dialogue with myself of what are we going to watch first? I was like, let's watch The Flash. I was like, that's going to be sad. Then I was just like, but Naomi is 2 hours. And I was like, maybe I'll have to start with The Flash and then start Naomi, go to the dentist. And I was like, no, start with Naomi, get it out of the way because it's 2 hours. So yeah, let's, as I did today, let's power through it.
Okay. Well, the name or the title of the series finale of Naomi was what?
Well, there's 2 episodes,
Oh,
so
they got two different. It was actually 2 episodes, and they just chose to air them both on the same night. They could have split them up and not made us watch 2 hours at once, but they chose
yeah,
to make us watch 2
yep,
hours at once.
yep. You're spot on the nose.
Greg
And
owes
that's
me an apology.
and that's why I was just like from the get. I was when I started the episode, I was like, "Oh, let's watch the series finale," because the fact that they couldn't wait another week for it to end, they were like, "Just get it out, just get it out there."
Yeah, yeah.
The first episode was called "Ready or Not."
What was the second one called? Because I don't know where it splits.
Who am I? It splits. Actually, I can't even tell you when it splits because I broke them. I split them in my notes.
Okay, well, when we get to it, just tell me then.
Yeah, since I had to exit out of one video on the CW network to then click on another.
I can't. I hate the CW app. I hate it so much, and it's just.
I wish it didn't exist. I wish it could just be. I wish it could be snapped out of existence.
It's somehow worse than HBO Max because HBO Max just stops playing randomly all the time. It'll just like I try to just play shit on my phone and it'll just be like, you lost connection. I'm like, no, I didn't. Like it, I'm still fully connected right now.
I also don't like their interface as much. So too much either. Well, neither one of them. I don't like their interfaces.
However, nothing is worse than Peacock. Like it is. Peacock will be like, it'll just, I'm watching The Office and all of a sudden it just exits out of the video and back to the thing. Like, what the fuck? I'm watching The Office right now. Why are you exiting out of, and then just like, okay, resume. And I hit resume and it plays for 2 seconds and then just exit back out. I'm like,
oh, the HBO app just closes out on me sometimes.
Well, HBO at least would like try to give me an excuse as to why it stopped playing. Peacock just stops. Yeah, Peacock just stops. And it's just like, especially on the PlayStation, it'll just like, you know what? Nope, I'm done.
Peacock has this PlayStation app?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, can we just talk about it for 3 seconds since it is kind of decent? No.
I'm about to say, I will complain about Peacock forever, but what?
We could do that on a day. It could be a Patreon episode, just talking about our list of favorite streaming sites.
Sure. What do you want to talk about though?
I was gonna say, can I just gruel over Gotham Knights only being available on PlayStation 5?
Oh yeah, PS5
and Xbox Series. Is that what it's called?
Xbox One X or whatever
X Series X. I don't know. Someone was in my DM talking about, I don't know who it is. They had no picture. It just said mine, and I don't know who it was, but we were talking about it, and I was like, well, it's still coming out on the newest Xbox.
Yeah, the Series X,
Yeah. I'm so sad because now this is about to be the most expensive game I'll ever have to purchase because I'm going to have to get it with a PlayStation 5.
And this is assuming that we will be able to get one because PS5 somehow are still hard to come by. It's just
what's crazy? It's crazy. It has to be, and I feel like this is something purposely on Sony's head because the pure fact that like when I was looking for like an iPad mini and they were sold out like everywhere, like if you ordered one online, like you weren't seeing that shit for like a month or two. Like I've seen people buy iPad minis in store now, like same day, and I still can't find a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And one has been out longer than the other.
Yeah.
One has been out since lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Since lockdown, and I can't get one.
November of 2020. Mm-hmm. I remember when I strolled into Best Buy to pick it up. It was November of 2020. I was there early as fuck in the morning, and like a week later, I was in the hospital. Completely unrelated, but yeah.
One day I was picking up my PlayStation 5. The next day, like 2 weeks later, I woke up in the hospital.
It was about a week later. I remember not having it for very long. And it was just like, yeah, about a week later, urgent care. Nope, go to the emergency room. Fuck.
hate when that happens.
In there for 3 days, and you're just like, yo, like I want to play Spider-Man. When can I go home? like it was really just that. I wanted to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, and they wouldn't let me leave. And I'm just like, yo,
I'd have been like,
fine.
can someone bring my PlayStation to the hospital?
Yeah, like somebody go to my house and pick up my because I don't trust anybody to transport my PS5, because at that point they were so hard to come by, somebody might steal it, and I don't trust these niggas. So yeah.
I would have not trusted that someone while I was sleeping would have taken it.
All of that.
I was gonna say nurses steal too.
All of that. I have to trust whoever I called to bring it to me, to get it to me safely, first of all, and not to keep it or break it. Because that's the thing. Like breaking it, I'm far less concerned about how much money it would have cost me to get another one as I am to just being able to find another one. So it's just like, that's how it is for me. Like now, just like I don't move it, because it's just like, no, because if I do, damn, being able to afford another, I can buy another one if I really need to. It's being able to find one. That's the problem.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I really can't I can't really fathom the idea of the fact that you still can't get one of those anywhere.
Yeah. But anyway.
Unless I'm willing to pay like twice as much to a reseller. I'm not. That's you're smoking drugs. Like you're smoking dick and drugs that I'm not.
I might have been willing to if I hadn't already bought one. But to buy one to replace the one I had and then pay that extra premium to get another one, I'm not doing that. I would have probably paid the extra premium to get the first one. But like to get a replacement one, nah.
I don't know. I've seen like some of the people I know and I work with, I know we're selling them shits for like $1,000. And I was just like, smoking crack. You're smoking crack. I get it. You're smoking crack.
That's called supply and demand. It's the foundation of our entire economy. So
I know.
Like, I'm not mad at it, because it's just like, if you can, it's worth what people are willing to pay for it. That's pretty much how it works. Yep. So I'm like, I'm not upset by that at all. I'm just not going to do it,
Yeah. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it. I just think people who do it is dumb.
It's, hey, their Beanie Babies worth that much money. But anyway, moving on. And Beanie Babies don't even do anything. They don't play Gotham crazy. Knights, But this episode kicks off. We got baby Naomi. And it's the whole escape thing, which we really later find out there's a whole other part to this that we didn't know about. But at the same time, I kind of knew about when they were like, yeah, somebody betrayed us. I'm like, oh, it's clearly her parents. But
oh yeah, I hypothesized when they started showing these flashbacks, and I was like, oh, those look like her mom and dad. And I was like, yep.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, somebody betrayed us. I'm like, well, at first I was like, oh, it's white guy Greg.
White guy Greg.
Mm-hmm. Her adopted father, Greg.
It's crazy. I had just realized that the mom's name again was Jennifer, because I think like the captions I was reading had said Jennifer before she spoke.
I still don't remember her name until you said it. So it's just
I just been saying mom and dad.
Yeah. But I was like, it was him. I just in my head like it was him. Possibly both of them, but definitely him is what I was thinking. But anyway, red-eyed alien was chasing them and shit. And yeah, that was all we got from that. But then we get back in the present. We got all the adults in the room talking about, where they're going to go to hide, but Naomi don't want to go. Akira mentioned something about a power source, and they were like, but they don't dive into that at all, because why would they? Akira's got the transport ship they used before in her workspace, so she was like, yo, I'm gonna repair it, but it's gonna take a couple days. So yeah,
crazy.
That whole discussion.
The alien tech can be fixed in like a couple of days. Yeah,
which means she could have been fixing it earlier. She just chose not to. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you telling me that takes like 2 days
it's been
to do, and
years.
I was like, y'all have been here for like a quince, like.
Yeah, you could have fixed that shit a long time ago. Why didn't you? especially since you were all in this mentality of like, we might have to run anytime, we got to be ready and all that kind of shit, you know, always ready. You wasn't ready to go nowhere because you could have fixed this shit and you didn't do it.
Why she was so ready to do what she did at the end.
Then we got
she's like, they can't find out what I was capable of.
Basically. Naomi, she's eating lunch alone at school. Anthony walks in. He's, you know, just talking like, "What you doing in here alone? That's weird. You don't eat by yourself. You don't do anything by yourself. You popular.
You know,
people like you. You know.
You know what's crazy? I kept forgetting his name as a person. He was like the only like one of the besides mom and dad's and Akira. I was like, his name I had a very hard time remembering because I was just like, I kept calling him friend.
I remember his because him and Nathan were like, you know, kind of juxtaposed to each other and like they got the same letters in their names. So that was kind of how I remembered. But,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like there's an extra Y in Anthony, but other than that, all the same letters. But that was how I remembered it. But yeah, he's just like, yo, you're never by yourself. You got friends. People like you. You're popular. Why are you in here eating by yourself? And she's like, I just feel like, you know, some alone time, blah, blah, blah. And apparently he's also working on an article about the Superman thing that kicked all this off. Because remember, I was asking last week, what the fuck happened to Superman? And we were just leaving that alone. It still didn't lead to shit because we still don't have an answer.
Yeah.
We go back to Kira's shop. Naomi ends up going there. There's another flashback of the escape. Blah blah blah.
When she touches this locket that she gave her.
Yeah, the locket. Akira then ends up telling Naomi about the power source because Naomi finally asked about it instead of just asking when she was in that room full of people when they were first talking about it. Like, you can just say whatever you want now. It's all a thing. Like, you just be like, yo, tell me about this. And they're going to say something. You're going to get some kind of answer. It's just kind of established that they just kind of got to do what you say or you're just not going to listen to them because can't none of them see you. So what difference does it really make, you know? So just at that point, be like, yo, what did you say about a power source, Akira? Tell me about the power source. Why would you not do that when she first mentioned it? But whatever. Anyway, she ends up telling her about it, but it's like she don't even know where it's at. Like, oh, so you're still useless, but gives her that locket, and that locket apparently
be the key to her finding it.
Yeah.
I found my bubble tea.
Where was it?
It was on the shelf where all of our linens are. Because in the hallway. Yeah, it's as I passed Luna's room to come to mine. Because I was just like, I had to find out if my bubble tea was in the kitchen or not. And when I saw that it wasn't, I was just like, okay, so that means it's either somewhere on my bed, which is even more panicky because it's open, or it's somewhere on Luna's shelf. And it wasn't, it was on the linen shelf.
So she touches the locket, and at this point, she's like, gets another vision. She sees a field. And I'm like, oh,
pretty field. It's
a field. Somehow she knows exactly where this field is just by seeing the field. So, you know, okay, let's go there. So road trip with Annabelle. It's a thing. They end up stopping at a diner because they apparently have the best fries in the world. I don't know what makes the best fries in the world or how you really go about judging that, but that's what diner's famous for.
It's the crisp ratio, the oil ratio, it's the salt and pepper ratio.
Okay.
Yeah. If they've somehow perfected the trifecta, then best fries in the world.
So yeah, then in the meanwhile, Anthony goes to the comic book shop and talks to Mortis.
He wants to try and interview her for the article about Superman stuff, and she was just like, "This is about Naomi because you don't really like this stuff."
Yeah, she sees right through his shit.
Yeah, and it was just like him trying to deflect was like even worse. I was just like, are you even trying to be convincing? Because you're not.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they both realized though in that talk that like Naomi's been acting weird ever since the Superman incident. So like, yo, we got to figure out what's going on with this. This is somehow connected.
And I was like, so y'all just gonna invade into someone's life. Cool.
So back at the diner, Naomi gets another flash and she sees Red Eyes and like, oh, he's on his way. We gotta get the fuck up out of here. So they take off. We got the parentals arguing with Akira about Naomi because that's just what them old folks do right now. They just arguing all the time about everything. They don't see eye to eye about nothing except for the fact that they were saying we got to get the fuck up out of here. But you know, okay. See, Red Eyes gets to the diner, ends up killing the guy with his red eyes.
The waiter.
Yeah.
Poor teen.
Yeah, poor bus boy. He was just like
he had so much life ahead of him.
I'm just trying to bust these tables, man. Like, why are you like?
He was just saying that tips were for waiters.
Yeah. So also, while Naomi and Annabelle are driving along, the car starts to overheat. There's smoke coming out, and it was like, oh, there's a motel a couple miles ahead. We should be able to.
And I have a question.
I might be the same question I have, but continue.
How the fuck were they going to get a motel?
That wasn't my question. My question was, how are they going to get that extra 2 miles? Once the car starts smoking like that and overheating, you don't have 2 miles. It's going to cut off within seconds. The car wouldn't even get there.
In my head, I was like, when it comes to like car stuff like that, I would have had the same inference. I was like, oh, okay, we can get these 2 miles. 2 miles is nothing.
It'll cut off. The car will cut off. Like once it starts smoking like that, within seconds, the car is going to just cut off. That's just what it does. Now the motel thing, yeah, you in pretty much everywhere I know, you have to be 21 to get a motel.
Or I was gonna say 18, but cool.
No, it's 21 because as someone who tried to get one prom night, I can tell you have to be 21. In most places. I don't know about every single, state in the world, but most places, like I've lived in 3 different states, and all 3, it has been 21. So
I'm about to start looking that up.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
But anyway.
Because I was just like, I feel like you got to put like a card on file, or like
not the seedy ones, the ones where you pay by the hour, sure. You just put down some money and you good, but who knows? Yeah. So they end up stopping at the motel because
I think we both had relevant questions.
Yeah, very, very valid questions. So
Greg, I need answers.
Basically. He ain't the one. I need to talk to Miss Duvernay.
Oh, right. Ava, I need answers.
Mm-hmm. So then Mortis and Anthony go to D and like, yo,
press, yeah.
What the fuck? And he's like, mind your business.
He's just like, you asking me all these questions. He's like, now it's like, fuck, I gotta remember the fucking lie I told to fucking get them off my back, and then to distract, and these kids are asking all these fucking questions.
And then
and Zubato
just comes in like, you know what? No, get the fuck out.
Zubato said, don't come up in here asking no more questions. And they probably are just like, but this isn't your shop. And he's just like, get out. Stop asking these questions.
I'm scary car dealership dude. Remember, be afraid. Go away.
Right? He's like, only one of you idiots know that I'm actually a fairly decent person.
Right. So, meanwhile, at the hotel, Naomi and Annabelle have a little heart-to-heart. And Naomi do that whole thing. What if everybody's right? What if I'm really not ready? Like, oh, really? You think all the people who know more about this shit than you do might have been right? About you not being ready yet?
Talking about how she wished
time for you to say it. Fucking teenagers, man.
If you had said this at the beginning of the episode, we wouldn't have to do this for 2 hours.
Please, multiple episodes to go. Like, she's been on this shit since like episode 2.
1.
Well, episode 1 didn't really have anything for her to say. I'm not ready yet. Like, episode 2 was when she really started the training and everything. So I'll give her episode 2. She probably did some dumb teenage shit in episode 1 that I don't remember, but I'm gonna just give her till episode 2.
Okay, I'll allow it.
She don't deserve it, but I'll give it to her. But yeah, having that whole heart to heart, maybe I'm not ready, but yeah, it's too late for that shit now because now Red Eyes is here. They're like, oh shit. Naomi says to them, like, we gotta get the fuck up out of here.
And they set off an alarm so everyone can evacuate.
Yeah.
Is it true if you put like a fire alarm that there's something that will come out on your hands?
I've never heard that before.
What? They used to scare us with that. They used to tell us that if you pulled like the fire, because you know how kids would just dumbly pull fire alarms in school. Yeah, they used to scare us with that in like elementary and middle school, that like when you touch those things, something will come off on your hands and they'll know it was you who pulled it because it's like illegal to do that.
That might have been a thing in New York.
I need to look that up now.
But as someone who's been in the vicinity when fire alarms have been pulled in school, I can say it didn't happen anywhere I was. I will not divulge who it was that pulled said fire alarms. But, I can tell you that whoever pulled said fire alarms did not have anything on their hands.
It's nice to know that other people have Googled this. Because if I just wrote in, if you pull a fire, someone was like, if you pull a fire alarm, does ink come out? And I was like, thank God I'm not the only person who looked.
Yeah, it's just like that same old wives trying to tell you about peeing in public pools and shit. It's just like
the light in the back of the car.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, as far as like the whole thing, people knowing who did things, like the whole if you pee in a pool, the water changes colors around you, so people know who did it. I'm like, it's not true. Like,
ew. According to this site, is this a blog? I don't know if this is a blog or a review. Looks like a blog. Doesn't feel like a credible source. But everything else that I'm reading, it says they don't spray ink. It's an old school myth to deter pranksters from setting off fire alarms. It said, if they are older models, they merely leave the offsetter with a stained hand as proof. So it means you just got to hit, like, you have to be like in like some 1908 ass building with an out of code fire alarm. Mm-hmm. You might get like some.
That's more from what's stain on the fire alarm itself instead of it spraying ink kind of thing. I got you.
Yeah. I was like, is it like the ink pack like thing in the bank money?
Yeah.
Like when you open the money and then it like
the dye sprays out. Yeah. But
that's why I can't rob banks. I'd be tight.
Well, the thing is, the money gets stained too, so you can't even use the money. That's the real.
I know. I'd just be tight, like just tenfold. Like I'm covered in this shit. The money's also covered in this shit. Like now I'm going to jail for grand larceny. Like I'd be tight.
So yeah. Then while this is all happening, Julian ends up attacking Dee, but Julian attacked. Oh, wait. Rewind.
You jumped ahead. Yeah. We're still in the first episode.
Yeah.
Akira and Mom are talking, and she's talking about like, did they do the right thing and by Naomi and da. Akira, confides in her. I see. Akira like confides that like she's never come to terms about getting powers while other people have suffered, and when the tear happened and all that. Started writing something about Annabelle and Naomi, and I apparently stopped typing, so I don't know what happened. But I then know that Lourdes and Anthony were looking through the woods and they found Naomi's rock. And then was that Red Eyes or was that Julian?
That was Julian that showed up. That's where I was at. Julian showed up and attacked
Okay.
them when they were being nosy at the stone, minding everybody else's business but theirs.
Yeah. And then
that's
D
when
and
D came
Zubato
in to
protect
save
them.
Yeah, they come in to save him. Yeah.
You said Julian attacked D. I was like, when did that happen?
It was what I have it as Julian attacks, but D and Zubato saves them. But it was just like
okay.
It's just the way I had it written because I skipped over the Anthony and Mortis thing, and you know.
Gotcha. And then while that's going on, Annabelle and Naomi get found by the red-eye dude, and Annabelle's like, "I'm not leaving."
Because teenagers are stupid. But Naomi steps up and she's like, and then it was fight time. And for some reason, Annabelle throws a rock at him because she thinks that's going to do something.
She did her part. It distracted him. Naomi then kind of kicked his ass. He goes to stab her and he breaks his knives and he's just like, fuck this.
Yeah, now she's invincible because that's a thing now. And this is one of those things, like I hated this less than her magically getting super speed. So
because this you could have probably seen more coming.
It seemed like more of a natural evolution of her powers as opposed to her all of a sudden this is a situation where I have to be super fast. Oh, I have super speed now because reasons. This is one where like it kind of just feels more natural, the evolution of the character. It's still weird, but not as bad as the super speed.
Mm-hmm. It's not that she was like always walking maybe a little bit faster than everyone. She's just been chilling, and now all of a sudden she's like, I can run really fast.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then, what was that? Remember that episode of American Dad when Roger all of a sudden like I can move really, really fast, where he pretended like he pretended like he died and like got hit by a bus and he like ran away and replaced it with some other shit, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, episode of American Dad like where he was pretending to be Steve's girlfriend and all that kind of shit. Oh, Snot's girlfriend, not Steve.
Got you.
Anyway,
so then they get back to the tattoo shop and Lourdes and Anthony are like, what the fuck is going on? And they find out that the multiverse is real. And boy, real. Yeah. And to be honest, I think when they started talking about it, I was just like, I am multiversed out. I feel like everything I'm watching now has a multiverse to it. And I get it because it's really the thing that like the movies are doing.
It's actually just two things. It's DC and Marvel.
Well, then the everything everywhere at all. Everything everywhere
all at once. Yeah.
That movie. Yeah. I'm going to keep saying the title wrong to the day I die.
I still haven't seen that, but I heard that was really good.
Oh my gosh, you have to. And then yesterday I went to see the Cursed Child, that Harry Potter play. And the way they were talking about different realities, I like leaned over to my friend and I was just like, so there's a multiverse in Harry Potter as well now. And I was just like, I'm multiversed out.
Well, that would explain why you're more burnt out on it than I am.
Yeah. I was just like, it's been a lot for like a week.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie yet. And it's, the Harry Potter stuff, how I am when it comes to that. It's just like,
And then I saw Doctor Strange on Saturday. So it's like, it's been a week of multiverse stuff.
Doctor Strange was so good though. But
it was.
Let's see. Let's go.
We should talk about that instead.
We should. But yeah. So back to Naomi and Annabelle. They finish off old dude, and the magic door is there now because to lock it and shit.
She goes through.
Yeah,
while Annabelle waits.
Yeah, and you're like I can't go this far with you. Like this is all you.
I'd be scared as if I was Annabelle too. I'd be like, I don't know what happens to me if I walk through that door.
Yeah.
You are technically invincible.
Yeah, so like when she first, I'm like, yeah. In my notes, you can say like, where the hell is she? I'm like, oh, I guess this is Earth 29. Then the essence of her parents were talking to her. In the meantime, Mac goes to D and tells him like, yo, your girl's still alive at this prison. You should go get her.
Is it his girl or is it his sister?
I don't know. I thought it was his girl.
I don't know. Someone important.
Yeah, somebody important to D is locked up in a prison somewhere.
We just happen to know she has a vagina.
Yeah.
Or actually, we don't know that.
Well, they were using.
So I know
they were using the she her. You know.
Look, you can't assume that everyone has the same parts. You gotta be liberal about it.
You're right. You're right. So
that's why I took that
alien with the she her pronouns is locked up somewhere in a prison.
Yes, there we go. We got to keep it correct. I mean, like, it takes one slip up.
You're right.
And I just want to be considerate of everyone.
Considerate and accurate. You know, we don't know what her genitalia is. You're right.
Right. And because they're alien or from another planet, another world,
they might have it could be the opposite, you know.
Exactly. So, you know, it's just trying to be considerate.
The females penetrating the males in that particular alien race. With their own organic organs, not with the artificial add-ons, you know, because females penetrate males here too with specific equipment. But you know, that's not what I mean.
Yes.
But yeah, they could have their own seahorse, you know, situation going on. We don't know. Anyway, turns out
the Essence parents tell her that someone betrayed them and trust no one.
Right. But they also tell her apparently she's the power source.
Mm-hmm. They were like, there is no power source. You are.
I'm like, oh,
it's you.
Well, that's dumb.
You've been looking. It's like you've been looking for you. You've been looking for you.
Like, I didn't have to go all the way out here to this random field to find that out. Like, why couldn't you just tell me? Like, that's rude.
Because they needed you to know that someone betrayed them and to trust no one. And that's where part one cuts off.
She didn't have to travel across the country and like go to this random field to find that out though. Like, it's just like
I was like, she couldn't open that locket anywhere else closer to home.
Anywhere. Because all it was the locket with the stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she could have did that in her own backyard. In her bedroom. Why did she need to go to that field? No explanation for that whatsoever. It's fucking dumb. That's why you got canceled. But yeah.
Oh, you said canceled.
What'd you think I said?
Cancer. And I was just like, Travis, why would you say that?
Really?
I didn't hear the so I was just like, did he just say that's why you have cancer? And I was just like, what?
Wow.
I was like, the show wasn't that great. I wouldn't call it a cancer.
No. I said that's why you got canceled. Oh, Mara. But yeah, they're like, yo, somebody betrayed us. You said that already.
And that's where the episode stops.
Okay.
And then so part two is called Who Am I? And it starts off with Naomi getting back to her site, even though like the previous hour she had just said she wasn't doing it for a minute.
So then the parents are like, yo, we got to get the fuck up out of here. The adopted parents, not the actual parents. Like, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Like, we can't tell nobody we leaving though. And she like, yo, fuck that. So
she's like, I can't tell my friends. And I was just like, sis, you are missing the entire point of this.
But at the
You
same
tell
time, he's like, yeah, somebody betrayed us. We got to get the fuck up out of here. Little do you know, you're leaving with the people that betrayed everybody. So
yo,
it's
that
just,
shit was wild.
I knew because it was just like fucking Greg. I don't trust white Greg because it's always the white dude. But
I, I just can't wait to the end because I think I had said something about that.
yeah, yeah.
So she's talking on her site. They say they're gonna leave. They say they're not gonna tell anyone. So Naomi decides to take the disc to Zumbato randomly.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this with you. I'm not gonna say why. It's about like,
even though there's nothing that you could do with it.
Yeah, it's like,
and he was like, yeah, he's like, y'all leaving is not it.
yeah. So they try to leave town. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say they start to leave, and Julian catches up with them.
Yeah, Red Eyes and Julian are both there, like standing there, just like, nope.
Red Eyes was standing behind Julian, like, yeah, I brought backup this time, bitch. Like,
yeah.
Because he was like, they don't pay him enough the first time. He was like, now there's two of us.
Yeah, so they do the force field thing. So there's the car crashes, flips over and shit. Naomi crawls out. The parents are gone.
I won't hold you. I thought at first I was just like, because I wasn't suspecting them at first when this was all happening. I was like, it's gonna be crazy when she turns around and they've died because they have no powers to keep them safe. Because when I saw the car and she was out of the car, I was just like, damn, that seems like that became catastrophic. Like mom or dad was flung out and they are not super.
Yeah, I was 100% behind the fact that the father was the one that betrayed everybody. Like it was like possibly both. I'm like, nah, definitely him. The one with the terrible poker face, him.
The inherent evil.
Yeah. Let's see.
Naomi and Annabelle go to check for D and Zumbato and realize that they took everyone.
Yeah, D, Akira, and Zumbato are all gone. Also,
they took all the adults.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is like Jimmy Neutron all over again.
Yeah. So they go to gather the rest of the gang, who for some reason are all playing paintball together right now. They're all paintballing, all of them together. Why? Who knows? Because they don't hang out together, but they're all together. All of them are there. All of them. Why?
Well, I think Anthony and Jacob are cool with each other. And I guess after the whole, I don't know, whenever they did that thing with Lourdes, got them three to be cool. And so, yeah. It's still random. Because to me, I was like, you just happened to be in the same place.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Exactly. But anyway, they're all there. They get them all together. Then they try to have this whole thing. We got a plan. And then like, no, I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to leave you all here and super speed away.
Oh, yeah, when they left the paintball place?
Yeah, they all got together wherever they got together at.
Yeah, because
they're playing. And
when she saw Red Eyes and took off, I was like, bitch, now they're going to take your friends.
My thing was, when did she go back and formulate a plan with everybody, or what happened?
They did it because I feel like they were trying to be like, we'll close that plot hole off screen, where it was like she goes looking for Red Eyes, because remember she had just told them that we've been looking for y'all to make sure that y'all not missing and such. So I'm assuming off screen, when she went back, or commercial break, I should say, she went back and then was like, okay, we gonna meet at the shop.
But they had just had a thing where she argued with them back and forth about how she needs to do this by herself, and then sped off and left them holding the bag, basically. So
that was after they met back up. That's what I was saying. in between the paint, like her going after Red Eyes and them showing up there, that was my commercial break. So all of that shit where they got to the, oh wait, now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about the shit. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like they met all at the paintball thing, and they went to wherever they went to. I still don't know where the fuck that was. It doesn't matter.
I think they went to like D-Shot. That's the only
So during
place
that
they could
time, they
reconvene.
started trying to formulate a plan, but Naomi was like, "No, I need to go by myself." And like, "No, we're going with you. I'm going by myself. No, we're going with you." And she says, "Fuck that," and uses super speed and speeds away, like she's going to go do it by herself. So when did the plan come together? When they all were there? Like, when did this happen? Again,
like when did she, like, you know, because she took off. It's like, did she always have that walkie-talkie? Did she have to go back for it?
Like I said, when
how did she know that they, like, how did she know that they would have caught up with her?
Yeah.
Because my assumption was like
it was a whole plan, but they didn't have a plan. Like, so like, what
I feel like
happened?
we're asking a lot of kids.
No, I'm asking a lot of the people running the fucking show. Again,
no, I know.
This is why you got canceled. Like, what the fuck?
Because even I was confused when she pulled that walkie-talkie out. I was like, what?
Yeah, who were you deceiving? Were you only deceiving the audience? Because like Julian and Red Eyes weren't watching you, so you weren't like fooling them. So what was the whole point of that scene other than to try to swerve the audience into thinking one thing that was logical, and then you doing something that was completely illogical that makes no sense? So
I don't know. I apologize. I thought earlier you were talking about how did they catch up about all the parent stuff, and I was just,
no, I'm not worried about that. Like, that's that's why I would have that conversation. I'm okay.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I feel like they would just do that shit off screen.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not what I was worried about at all. I'm talking about how they established
when they
that she was going alone and was not bringing them along.
When I finally realized what you were talking about, I was just like, oh yeah, I did question that when it happened. She pulled that walkie-talkie out and smiled, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. But they get the parents loose, I guess, because they had planned this all along. You can't even see. But yeah. I was
the kids get like dampening tech down, and they get the adults out, and and then they go, Annabelle and Naomi find this portal that will take them to their Earth.
But that was after Zumbato and Dee, they take down Julian together. But yeah, Naomi's at the portal. She's gonna go through it, but like Annabelle kind of like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing? You gonna really leave me? Blah 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 blah. But yeah, she goes through and meets Brutus.
Yeah. And we learned some facts. Brutus is not from their planet either, or their dimension. And I was like, you're like that, you're as bad as Thanos. Like, you just go in places and just change your shit.
Yeah.
Because you think it's right.
The more accurate equivalent they like kind of put out there was Darkseid, which is like, I kind of get that. But like, yeah. Interesting to see where they would have gone with that, but you know, is he actually Darkseid in disguise? You know, is that a thing? Because we've established Superman's there, so is that what that is? You know, that would have been interesting if that was actually the case, but we'll never. Would have been because the show got canceled because they do stupid shit.
I was gonna say it would have been a great segue into Superman and Lois,
right?
Or a great segue into a crossover with Superman and Lois.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so he's not from that universe. That dimension, and then he explains why she passed out when Superman flew through.
Yeah, because apparently two beings of that much power can't be near each other
for too long.
Yeah. But she passed out. Superman didn't like.
Right. You know what I thought of at first? I was like, maybe it was one of those times when Clark was flying and he was feeling Bizarro, but they were all feeling each other. I was like, where's our connection? Where's our connection? And then, but even still, we don't understand. I wish they would have explained more about Superman flying through there.
Well, Superman was fighting in there. He was fighting some blue dude. But but my thing is like, why did Naomi pass out, but he didn't?
True.
Yeah, but why there also? That's all that is tied together in that. Like, but why? It's just.
I also am curious about how close you have to be to the beings of different powers. Because I was just like, how far is Smallville from where Kara is National City? Yeah. I'm wondering how far Metropolis is from National City, because they're in the same Earth. That shit wouldn't overload them.
Yeah. And we've had several scenes with Kara and Clark near each other. And
in the same place,
you know, happened. So yeah,
that's why I'm just like, well, y'all creating more plot holes that didn't need to be there.
But anyway,
he tries to amplify her memories, and that's when I started feeling like it was mom and dad might be the betrayers. He can hurt her here, so she felt pain for the first time, like physical pain. I'm sure she's gone through a lot of emotional pain. Tries to kill her, but she overpowers him, and then her powers.
My question is, all the time she was training with D and all that stuff, she never felt any pain when she got hit? They're just creating more questions. Like, it's just like, we're not supposed to think this through, but we do. Like,
we don't anticipate you guys thinking that far, but. And then so he tries to kill her, and she overpowers him. And then her powers start to restore plants on the ground, like from before the tear.
And he's somehow shocked about it, like, oh shit, you actually are that powerful and shit. Let me get the fuck up out of here.
He's like, everything they said was true. Zumba and Akira show up in like the nick of time. And Akira like sacrifices herself to stay behind to close the portal permanently.
Yeah. And Zumbato gets her out of there.
And so once all that conflict is over, they talk, her, Dee, Zumbato, Naomi, they try to make her feel better about Akira because they think she's DEAD.
Yeah, they're like, we got to find the other 20, the rest of the 29,
28 now.
Yeah. So they can all join the fight and we can take them down.
And then Naomi encourages Dee to go find his shorty / sister person.
Yeah, old girl, yeah. Then
that becomes the whole thing. So I will say, despite how it actually ends, I was like, okay, cool. We're kind of closing some things up to a degree where I won't need further detail. I can just kind of imagine however I want it to be. They close up some storylines. And then go on.
I was gonna say, then it's a house party happening. I guess Nathan having it at his house because reasons. I guess his parents aren't there, wherever the hell they went.
Must be nice to live in smaller towns.
Yeah, like that. They did that whole all the friends together thing, that they do because
the huddle.
Yeah. And after this, it's when Naomi like puts all the memories together. She realizes, oh, you did it.
You took me.
Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere when they're going out to bury stuff, I guess. And like they claim it was for the greater good, but she ain't having it.
Yes. So she goes, you took me, and mom goes, what are you talking about? We would never just going on and Pops is silent.
Because he has no poker face.
He doesn't. And I won't lie, I was a little, so I did lie. I made a mistake earlier. I was a little suspicious of him earlier towards the beginning of the episode or the second half when she had expressed that they said someone betrayed him. And his first suggestion was, dang, we really need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And then so come to the end here, and she go, and mom's trying to still like smile and wave, it's okay. He's silent. It goes quiet for a minute, and he goes, it was for the greater good. What? Yeah. And I was like a true colonizer would say.
So yeah, she basically like, yo, I ain't having that. Y'all stay away from me like forever. And she flies away because now she can fly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then all of a sudden now she can fly. And so when she flew off like that, I was like, okay, I mean, this could be like the end of like a mini series. Yeah. So I was just like, that's cool, because like essentially now you could pick up anywhere with her. Like they could, like, how you hypothesize, like, they could pick up stuff on HBO and stuff like that. They could go up in age.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could age her up and all that stuff.
Fold her into Superman and Lois randomly sometime or some shit like that. They can do whatever you want now.
Yeah, like, because at this point now she's gonna be like, I'm doing my own thing, so I was like, okay, so the way they ended it, I was like, at least this felt more concluded than Batwoman and Legends now feel, because those are just literally left off at like,
yeah,
I don't know
what just gotten arrested. Like it was one of those like, they had just gotten taken away,
arrested, having a baby, like.
Yeah, they were literally left hanging there. It was just like, we don't know what's happening next.
And then Batwoman kind of, I don't, now at this point, I don't fully remember, but I feel like it ended somewhere that I was like, well, now I kind of want to know what will come of that. Mm-hmm. But like some things were like, yeah, we could just chill here. Yeah. So, yeah, that was the series finale of Naomi.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's go on over to the Flash.
Let's do it, because this was a sad one. So get your Kleenex, y'all. Not really, but.
So this episode was called what?
Funeral for a Friend.
All right, so yeah, this episode picks up everybody's just being sad, remembering Frost. There's a robbery going down. There's this super strong dude with some kind of exosuit. Yeah, we see. Yeah, they end up calling him Blockbuster. But my whole
which is weird, because he's not blue or yellow and not showing a screen.
None of that. But my first question when all this was going down, why is Cecile there? When has she ever been out in the field while they were doing shit like this?
I've noticed that lately she's been showing up to like things more frequently. And I was just like, it's just a convenient use that she has now, I guess, powers that are, I guess, somewhat effective.
But she's had them already. Like, her being in the lab makes sense, kinda. But her being out there to stop a robbery, why?
I'm just like, why are you out there to sense all the grief? Because that's essentially what happened. She got overpowered by all that.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just had that question. Why is she there? So they all fail miserably because they just don't know what to do when Frost is gone. Like, even Chester says, now Frost, do this. Oh, there's no Frost. Oh, fuck. We're fucking up. And yeah, now this nigga goes invisible and he's gone.
Yep. And then Iris and Barry are talking about the bad guy, and they're preparing for Frost's funeral. And Caitlin's like, I'm not going to no damn funeral.
Yeah, because they need something for her to be doing, because the logical thing. It's like, oh, I'm grieving. I'm not going to the funeral.
Yeah, as soon as she started going off about that, I was like, oh, I see the storyline we're gonna do here.
Yeah.
It's the storyline we do in every goddamn show. Every show had, like, when someone dies, there's always one person like, I'm not going to the funeral, and it's always the closest person to them.
Who won't
I'm
accept
not
that they're dead and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
And I was just like, how many times are we gonna do the same trope?
Every show they're gonna do it.
Yeah. The only time it didn't happen was Game of Thrones, because in that show, no one was safe.
Well, I just say they didn't have time because somebody else died the next episode.
Yeah.
Then Joe gives some wise words, like, you all just do something that really like will commemorate her. Like, I started taking watercolor painting classes, whatever. And that's my thing. That's how I commemorate her, because she, said I should do it. So I'm going to do it for her, Then we got Iris is like, yo, I feel like I should have got to know her better. Like, this article that I'm working on, like, I don't even know how to write it because I didn't know her as well as I should have, feeling all guilty and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even talking to Caitlin's mama. I don't know her name.
I don't know Caitlin's mom's name either. I just called her Caitlin's mom.
Yeah. So what she ends up doing, she does like a podcast with people who were, touched by Frost, people who were saved by her, people who were inspired by her, and all that kind of stuff. And that was her thing.
Because she was trying to write an obituary that was like personable, but also not revealing that she was a part of Team Flash.
Right.
And she had given it to some underling, but like he made it very unpersonable. Yeah. So she met with Frost's mom to have her read the obit, and she even points out, like, this is cold. Even for Frost, this is cold. And when actuality, they met up because Caitlin's mom just wants to know how she's doing and how everyone's hanging in there. They have this drink named after her called Killer Frost, and Caitlin's mom tried to tell them, like, it shouldn't be called that when she orders it, because the barista, like an asshole, corrects her that it's not Frost, it's Killer Frost. And I'd be like, see, that's how you lose fucking customers, being a dickhead. Because honestly, if I had gone into Starbucks and I asked for a macchiato and one of them niggas tell me it's a caramel macchiato, I was just like, I would just leave.
Like, macchiato these nuts. And
right? It's the only flavor you got.
It's when you go through the whole ordering process and then you leave.
I'd be like, you know what? Never mind. But throughout the podcast, she realizes how many people have whose lives who have been changed by Frost.
Then we get Chester and Allegra arguing about hummus, because
she put hummus on his sandwich instead of like a condiment, and they were arguing over what's a condiment and whether it's a dip,
which
or not.
Chester's right. Hummus is not a condiment.
I fully agree with him. If you give me a sandwich with hummus on it, I'm gonna ask you why you trying to fight with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you purposely picking a fight with me right now? I know you are.
Because there's no other reason why you put hummus on my sandwich other than you want to fight. So it's
That's not to say I don't like hummus. I'm just saying, like, why would you put this? Yeah, why would you put that on my sandwich? You better get me some hummus dip with some tahini chips. Like, you better do right.
Basically. So apparently Barry has gone kayaking. And
now he's looking for parkas.
Yeah. We don't know why yet until we see later on. He's at the top of Mount Everest. But yeah. Then we got Mark. He's acting the fool at the bar. Chester and Allegra go there to see what's happening. And this is when I find out, because I don't think I ever saw this before or heard it, but Chester doesn't drink.
I feel like that has come up before. I think it was just very, very minor. But like I don't know why when he said it, like I recall him saying it, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, didn't we already know that?
I
don't
wasn't
know.
surprised to hear it. It was just one of those things I
Yeah,
don't think I had heard it before. Like, it doesn't surprise me given his character, but at the same
gotcha.
time, I'm like, I don't remember them ever actually saying it. But it's entirely
Makes
possible
sense.
they did because I forget shit all the time.
So,
Um,
well, like I say, it just like it doesn't. It just sounded just very plausible for his character. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
so yeah, Barry's making a snowman at the top of Mount Everest because that's what he does.
Oh wait,
Um,
no. They put Frosty's jacket in Starkives to honor her.
right, right.
Can't skip storylines without closing theirs.
I thought I had that in here and I did, but yeah, yeah.
Because they apologized because they brought Mark back to the lab to sleep off his drunk once he falls asleep, because Mark is also realizing that there's this connection or whatever between them, and in his drunk stupor he passes out, so they take him back, and then they realize to put her jacket in Starkives. And then we get to Barry uh carving a snowflake from, I guess, ice from Mount Everest.
Yeah, doing an ice sculpture because apparently he's an ice sculptor now. I don't know where he got that ability from,
The
but
same ability he got this to sing.
I mean, you can, if somebody sings, they sing sometimes, but like the ability to sculpt ice,
It's crazy.
yeah, like that takes practice. Even if you're like already a talented artist, like being able to sculpt ice takes skill.
I think being able to sculpt anything is skill.
Yeah.
But so we realize he's doing a bucket list that Frost had.
Which
So
included
he's,
winning a hot dog eating contest.
yes, and getting a painting in the Louvre.
Oh, what?
A painting in the Louvre.
In the Louvre?
Louvre.
Louvre?
Louvre.
Louvre?
Yeah.
What's that?
The museum in the big
Oh,
fancy museum in France.
okay. I missed that part. I didn't know what he
Le,
said on the thing. Okay.
Louvre.
I remember seeing the painting getting put up there, but I'm like, oh, okay.
When I saw France, I was just like, oh, this is the Louvre. But yeah, so he does all those things, and Mark finally wakes up hung over his shit while Barry's back to his science shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a little quick chat. He's like, "Oh, you've been doing these?" And yeah. At this During that time, I guess Caitlin's been doing her sad, lonely thing back in her place.
Packing up all of Frost's things. I was like, this was great use of Billie Eilish, because they got me a little bit sad. Even Luna was like, why is it so sad? Because she hadn't seen last week's episode, so I had to go back and show her how she became Hellfrost and her fighting Deathstorm. Yo, you ever seen a 5-year-old tear up at the Flash?
No, I have
I
not.
watched a 5-year-old tear up at the Flash. She was sad.
When Frost died,
Yeah,
damn.
she was sad because she remembers the character. She was like, why is everyone sad? And I was like, well, someone passed away last week. She's like, well, I didn't see that. And I was just like, I know. And she was like, who passed away? And then she realized it was Frost. And she was like, oh no, how she passed away? And I was trying to explain to her. I was like, oh, she got hurt. And then I was like, that's not what happened. And then so I was like, no, she saved the day, doing a lot. And she couldn't handle it. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm talking to a 5-year-old. Damn. So I went to YouTube and found the clips of the end of the episode and just had her do that. But by the time Caitlin was crying in the final scene, Shorty was tearing up. Finally, because she didn't tear up at Up, which really had me concerned.
She may not have like fully like felt the weight of that.
I don't think, yeah, I was like someone else told me, she's like, I don't think she understands the concept of what they were showing. And I was just like, probably.
That's probably what it is. Like she's 5. She don't really feel the weight of that. Like
She don't understand what it means to be with your soulmate forever, and then they die unexpectedly before your grandest adventure.
Yeah, that's a different thing. She wouldn't understand that. But yeah, so Barry goes to see Caitlin before the funeral, and she gets an attitude when he actually like, I think you regret not going, and whole
Which
back
is
and forth thing.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, he asked her what Frost would have wanted for her. And, she reveals all of that. Well, we show the clip from last week when Frost was like, don't be shutting everyone out.
Yeah. So she ends up going. She speaks at the funeral.
Pretty blue casket, I will say.
Yeah. Then we get a little get together at the West House. They're like, "Oh, we gonna remember Frost and drink and shit." Blockbuster strikes again. They take him out. We don't even see it happen, but we just know they did because
he was like, "Get the meta cell warmed up."
Yeah, because they basically talked about earlier.
Holding cell.
Yeah, when Barry was talking to Iris, like we should have been able to take him down easily, but we just were not in the game, and now they are. So we can just assume they took him out easily.
Yeah. And then so Caitlin calls Mark over to her apartment, and she reveals that she's going to try and bring Frost back.
Got a whole super lab in her apartment now. Like, where do you sleep now? Like,
where did you get that stuff?
Everywhere. Like, she's been pilfering shit away. Like, she even said, like, just like it's borrowed,
When he walked in, it was still dark. He was like, did you not pay your power bill? And I was like, she probably trying to hide all that other electricity surging.
Yeah. Then we go to the Citizen. Iris is talking to, what the fuck is
I don't know. I called her the white girl.
Yeah. Evil bitch. And like,
about an article, and she tried to throw Allegra under the bus.
Yeah, but she was just like, yeah, like it's good to have you back. It just wasn't to say what it's like, oh, but you had Allegra her. She did a really great job. She's like, from who? And you saw Iris give her a look like, bitch.
Like what do you mean? So it's almost as if Iris was like, well, I mean, things were still standing, you got like, it was good that you guys had I heard it was good while Allegra was here. And and the white girl was just like, what do you mean? And then Iris returning, going back and being like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and then the old girl was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't be trying to slander her right now because I'm outvoted. Because I'm assuming that Iris heard from multiple people that everything went well while she was gone.
Mm-hmm. So, and also because Shorty has already, stated that she's going to do everything in her power to ruin Allegra.
Right, but Iris didn't hear her say that. So
oh yeah, no, I'm saying like to us, like I was just like, oh, I was like, I can't tell if this was like, I'm thinking of putting her under the bus, but not. But then also like, I'm elite, start leaving some breadcrumbs.
I think it was just her trying to be petty at the moment and realize this was not a good time to try that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then she walks away and tries to come back and say some shit, but then Iris is gone because she has disappeared.
She goes back for her phone, and we see that Iris has either been dusted, snapped.
Well, we forgotten. See the green residue, so she has still for shit. Now we do know because for some reason Candace Patton decided it was okay for her to just spoil this on her Instagram. But she's going to be gone until episode 19. So the next 4 episodes she'll be gone, and then she'll be back in episode 19. I don't know why she thought it was okay to just say this to people. I don't know. Maybe she's doing it on purpose because she's mad about something, or I don't know. But
is episode 19 like the last episode of the season?
Episode 20 is the last episode of the season.
Okay.
So yeah, the next 4 episodes she will not be there. She'll be back for episode 19.
Oy.
Yeah. And the finale, I believe, is on the 21st or the 29th. Which one is that?
Tell you right now. 29th of June.
So on the 22nd, Iris will be back.
And the next chapter of the season or series starts on the 15th of June.
Interesting.
Because we're still in interlude 3. Oh no, we're just starting interlude 3.
Okay.
And that will be 15, 16, and 17. And then starting at episode 18 will be graphic novel number 7.
Okay.
I don't understand what these breakdowns. Oh, these are all called graphic novel. Okay. No, that makes more sense to me now. I didn't realize when they had started. Oh wow, they started doing this back in like season 6 when they were.
I thought so, but no,
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't know if I was just making that up in my head though, because I didn't know for sure. So.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I never even knew. I'm looking at the episodes like on their breakdown, and it's like graphic novel number 2.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then it's Crisis. Yeah, it's like their version of Phases.
Let's see. Okay. But yeah, that was the Flash. So Mara, who's winning?
Is anybody really winning?
Somebody is.
I mean, Naomi can fly.
That is true. She can fly. She certainly can. Hold on 1 second. Let me. So that's next week.
I can't think of anyone who's really winning other than that. I mean, Frost is at rest. Caitlin's gonna move on, and she has like, well, not really move on. She's got her super lab.
Damn, Superman and Lois isn't back next week either. It's like 2 weeks off.
That budget, they need to make sure they got it.
Yes, no episode the 17th. Hold on, let me check the 21st because I don't think there was one the 21st either. No episode on the 21st either. Those are reruns.
Well, I'll be damned.
So yeah, we just got Flash the next couple weeks.
And I guarantee you it's going to be nonsense fodder.
Yeah, well, what you gonna do?
I'm going to just go with Naomi.
Okay. Who's losing?
Damn. Naomi's parents. Shit, what was I hearing? Mark.
Another
Akira.
Yeah, she's dead. There's no way she's
Iris.
surviving.
There's a lot of people
I'm
losing.
about to
this
say,
week.
I was gonna go with Iris on losing.
There we go. That's because I was just like, someone from the Flash is definitely losing way more.
Yeah.
Who are you going with winning?
I was actually gonna say Caitlin because Caitlin's got a plan.
You're right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, folks, that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Do not forget you can find us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. Also, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. This particular podcast has a Facebook group, though. Mara, what's that Facebook group?
Facebook.com/Super-Flashy Arrow /groups/Super-Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow.
Okay. Also, those of you who are wrestling fans, don't forget to check out Smacking It Raw each and every week. That podcast also has its own Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. Do not forget you can follow. No G in Smacking. Also, don't forget you can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That's at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Instagram and Twitter at Mara the Shark. MARADASHARK.
All right. That'll be it for this week. We'll see you next week just to talk about the Flash because no Superman and Lois next week or the week after. But we'll see you then. Until then, we out.
Laters.